Jaya Prabhupada.
Play the bass. That's got it close. Shall we start right off? Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Can I use it? May I?
You're going to use it?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Thanks. Yeah, there are so many to choose from. So many to choose from. Yashodanandana Vatatandarandana Yashodanandana Vatatandarandana Jamuna Tira Varachaya Jamuna Tira Varachaya Yashodanandana Radhadanarandana Yashodanandana Radhadanarandana Yamuna Tira Vanatare Jamuna Tira Vanatare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Jaya Rama Rama Kunjabhare Jaya Rama Rama Kunjabhare Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa. Divine graces, the Goloka Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Vakacaya Tathasa the Shishimata Divine Grace. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Brahmavati Gandhi Asana Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nantikati Vaishnava Vinda Ki Jai. Namachara Srila Arasaka Ki Jai. Param Sakara Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pavanityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath. Shamakana Radhakana Gadadhara Ki Jai. Jamina Mahaki, Ganga Mahaki, Tulasi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vinda Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Mathura Ki Jai. Navidukta Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. New Goloka Dham Ki Jai. Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai. Transcendental Sadhana Distribution Ki Jai. Vihatmadanga Ki Jai. Shri Haranam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Oops. Shri Radha Golokananda Ki Jai. Shri Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to the unassembled devotees. Oh, glories to Shri Shri Gauranga. I messed it up right away. I'm a little rusty on this. What am I doing wrong? Is it this one? Is it this one? This one? Okay. Technology is definitely not my area of expertise. So, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Sumnam Bonum, Chapter 58. Lord Krishna marries 5 wives, something like that. And texts 9 and 10 will be addressed today. This. That's 9, maybe. I was hoping to be able to use the screen. I want to put my specs on. Anyway, here we go. Text 9. Text 9. Oh, that's okay. I manage. It's all right. I can manage. I don't know why. It's fine. It's fine. I'd rather not have it. I think it actually inhibits people seeing.
No, it actually makes it possible.
Thank you very much. Again, technology fails me at every moment. Here we go. Text 9 reads on the board here. Okay. Tadaiva, oh God, that's too loud. Tadaiva karshalam novut. Sa nataste kritavayam. Gyatim na smarata Krishna. Seems awfully loud. Bharata me presitastvaya. We'll give it another try. Tadaiva kushalam novat. Nataste kritavayam. Gyatimna smarata Krishna. Vartame prishtitastvaya. If you'd be so kind, Prabhu. Go for it. Anyone in the back? Sadhvi? Sadhvi? No? No? Yes? You? Read? Okay. So I'm so used to using a blackboard that I'll use my glasses. Here, if we just look at these words, there's a lot of very recognizable words. For example, Krishna. You know, there's a word that we know mostly. And then the word before it is smarta. You know this? Krishna smartam, right? To remember, right? Very good, right? And anyway, there's a lot of really interesting words up here. There's a word, the middle of the first word in the Bhagavad Gita, kaushalam. Kaushalam means the art of all work. Very interesting word, kaushalam. So now let's look at what the word for word say. You can practically understand what the translation is just by looking at the word for words. And so you got up to then? Yeah, okay. Ta-da! Because I love this word in Sanskrit because it's sort of like the American ta-da, ta-da. Right. It's easy to remember that, right? At that time. Okay, at that time. Eva, only. Kaushalam, well-being. Well-being. Na, our. Abut, arose. Sa, with. Nataha, it's nata as in Jagannath, that's a controller, but here it is a protector. te, by you, kritaha, made, vayam, we, gatim. Okay, that's an interesting word. Your relatives. Na, us. Smarata, who remembered? Krishna. Oh, Krishna. Brata, brother, Akura. Me, my. Prishtaha, sent. Vayam, Tvaya, by you. Translation by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, according to the cover. Okay. Queen Kunti said, "My dear Krishna, our welfare was assured only when you remembered us, your relatives, and gave us your protection by sending my brother to visit us." There's a lot of us. A lot of us is in there. Okay, please repeat if you don't mind. Queen Kunti said, just as a reminder because it's, Queen Kunti said, "My dear Krishna, our welfare was assured only when you remembered us, your relatives, and gave us your protection by sending my brother to visit us." You'll note there's no purport. So we'll go on to the next verse, text 10. This is an easy one to remember. Yeah? Yeah. That's in the word for words, it says, yeah. Anyway. It says, brata, brother, and then akur. Although, this lineage aspect, that's a relative aspect. The lineage, how people are related by family, in relation with Krishna, that's really a relative aspect. I don't mean to be making a pun or a joke about it. This time I don't intend to make a joke. Most of the time I do intend to make a joke. But in this case, it's just relative. How you're stationed. Krishna is the main director and the playwright. And so he just puts people in, you'll be this person's brother, and you'll be this person's mother, and like that. They're all players in Krishna's pastimes. Oh, sorry. It just sounds like it's echoing to me. I'll put it right next to it. Is that too loud? Is that all right? Sounds awful to me. Okay. All right, we'll go on to text 10. Is it on the morning? Okay. Natesi pata, I'm sorry. Natesi sapara brantir vishvasya shuvid atmana tatapi smaratam sastat klesham samsi vidishtita. Let me try it. Natese sapara vratir visvasya suvit atmana tatapi smaratam sasvat klesham hamsi vidishtita. Okay, try again. Yeah. No? Don't bother? Okay, we'll go right into the word for words. I don't know. I'm a little green on this in this platform right now. So, shall we proceed? Okay, thank you. Shall we do the word for words? Okay, let's skip them. No, we'll read them. It's very edifying, really. I think. Na, not, te, for you, asti, there is, sa, of one's own, para, and of others. Bhranti, delusion. I stopped at this word because I know a devotee named Bhranti. It's interesting. Prabhupada gave his disciple the name that means delusion. Anyway. Vishvasha, of the universe. Surit, for the well-wisher. Oh, thank you. Atmana, my well-wisher. Atmana, and soul. Tatapi, nonetheless. Smaratam, of those who remember. Sasvat, continuously. Kleshan, the sufferings. Hamsi, you destroy. Hidi, in the heart. Sita, situated. Okay. Not only in the heart, everywhere else as well. Translation by, as we previously explained. For you, the well-wishing friend and supersoul of the universe, there is never any illusion of, quote, us, end quote, and, quote, them, end quote. Yet, even so, residing within the heart of all, you eradicate the sufferings of those who remember you constantly. This is definitely worth repetition. Please repeat. For you, the well-wishing friend and supersoul of the universe, there is never any illusion of us and them. Yet, even so, residing within the hearts of all, you eradicate the sufferings of those who remember you constantly. Technically, the adverb should precede the verb, but this is common to put at the end, constantly. Purport. The intelligent Queen Kunti here points out that even though Lord Krishna is dealing with her affectionately as her relative, he is not compromising his position as the well-wishing soul of the universe. In other words, the Lord doesn't play favorites. Interesting. As he says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 29. Oh, good. It's there. Good. Samoham sarvabhuteshu. Quote, I am equal to everyone. End quote. So, while the Lord reciprocates with all souls, it is natural that those who love him intensely receive his special attention, for they want him and nothing else. Nice. Om Ganatam Randashagana Sakala Chakshali. Asmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yenavitale Saiva Pakaramaham Aviti Sakandikam Vandaham Shri Guru Shri Gurabharam Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnava Mashaya Shri Rupam Savajatam Sahagana Rakatam Tam Sam Shivam Sadvaitam Savaditam Bhavajana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Alita Shri Shakavedam Shah. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandha Jagapate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vendareshure Vishabhanisita Devi Pranamamani Heavy Prayer Vanchakapatu Vishwa Kripasinda Bevacha Patitana Pavana Vishnava Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pabanitananda Shri Advaita Gadara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vinda. You might know this one. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Hare. All right. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. For you, the well-wishing friend and supersoul of the universe, there is never any illusion of, quote, us, unquote, and quote, them, unquote. Yet even so, residing within the hearts of all, you eradicate the sufferings of those who remember you constantly, or constantly remember you. Either way. The way constantly remember. So who is remembering Krishna constantly? Right? And how are you reminded of Krishna constantly? Right? Just covered the territory very well yesterday, and he covered the hardship side, like problematic, which is what you run into in the material world all the time, right? Also known as, what's that word that Kunti uses, right? That this calamities happen again and again. That's kind of a dynamic problem. You know, the calamity is dynamic. Oh my, faced with huge challenge, but getting up in the morning is problematic. And who wakes you up? I mean, for someone who doesn't hear an alarm clock, I can tell you it has to be Krishna. Right? I mean, just if you give credit to Krishna at every moment, good or bad, and there's also a wondrous experience that every devotee, if you explore everyone's history, there is the impact of providence in their life, with a capital P, you know that providence? Even the residents of Vrindavan were saying, providence saved Krishna. Of course, Krishna is providence. So when we see that providentially, in other words, we would call it, the mundaner would call it coincidence. It's coincidental that everything just clicks sometimes. Amazingly clicks. Like Krishna also plays tricks, calamities, right? So one man here, he invested a lot of money in a vehicle that everyone told him he should get rid of it and get another one. But then he had an accident. So he has to get rid of it anyway. So that you could call that providence, but you could blame stupidity. But actually, Krishna orchestrates every move. Why? So that we can remember him. That's one reason. The other is that we have a lesson to learn. And that lesson is, despite all the problems in the world, the single only solution is remembering Krishna constantly. So welcome the calamity, right? So I remember leaving here in 2020 and going back to Florida, and they had scheduled me for one class. After that, they took me off the class schedule. And I actually expressed in the class that my greatest fear is not the pandemic. Actually, I welcome it, because when people are faced with the threat of death, they're very receptive to the philosophy. But my fear was that I would say something out of turn, because everyone was fearful. And we must be ultra courageous to connect with people. At, maybe 6 feet distance, you use your voice a little louder. Right? But the fear I had was that I would be bumped from the schedule, and it happened. So Krishna provided that. And what happened? Terrible, terrible experience in my so-called devotional career was that I no longer took interest in the Bhagavatam class, because I loved the Bhagavatam class. For me, the whole morning program is the dessert of the meal, if you like desserts, is the Bhagavatam class. That you warm up all morning, praying to the spiritual master for receptivity, recognizing his qualities. Then you sit down and mumble your rounds off for a while, right? But that's supposed to boil the milk so that you can bring it down to the right temperature and put the culture of Krishna consciousness in to make it a big part of yogurt, right? And that culture is right here. The precepts of the Vedas, and this one is a very high precept, even though it seems to be almost an incidental comment from Krishna's aunt, right? It's actually So important. Otherwise, we have a whole volume. That's the 8th chapter of Canto 1. And that's the prayers of Queen Kunti. So full of realizations. Queen Kunti, who is she? Some woman, but she's an unbelievably pure devotee. Playing an aunt, playing the mother of the Pandavas. And her prayers are so heartfelt, pure recognition of Krishna that, in fact, urging trepidation and problems to return, so that during the course of that replay, that we remember Krishna even more deeply. The word intensely is given here. Intensely, right? So it's like when you're concentrating on something, you concentrate intensely. If you want full focus, then you put your glasses on so you can see more clearly. But the point is that you clarify your intelligence, if you have any. Everybody has some. And there's various coverings. And the coverings, the uncovering of the intelligence happens when we deal with others. Now here's the them and us concept is given here. Them and us, right? So that separating me or us, our secure group from those, the insecure group, or the good guys and the bad guys, right? We separate them with a misconception because they're all Krishnas. And when someone comes and gives you a hard time, Krishna sent them. And someone comes and gives you a nice time, then Krishna sent them to test you. Are you going to respond with your puffed up false ego? Or are you going to respond with humility? Oh, well, how can it be true? Yeah. Krishna gives the ability in man, right? That's Dayavir's birthday verse, right? Chapter 7, text 8, right? 7, 8. And the taste of water and the ability in man. Right? He gives the intelligence of the intelligent, right? He's giving it all. And with those seem like poetic verses, it's not flowery words of the Vedas. It's actually concrete recognition of the power of God in your life breath. You can't do anything without Him. So what is the point? Is that what have you got to offer? What have you got to offer? Your minute independence. And we're withholding. Right? We want Maya. Right? So how is Maya defined? I've got so many definitions. Really easy definition for Maya is sense gratification. It's not just sense gratification, because there is sense gratification for devotees, but selfish sense gratification. When the boga shopper and the cook and the pujari and the prasadam table are glorified, the prasadam is glorious. It's full of glory. All right? One of my favorite quotes from Jayananda is that he would consistently say, each meal practically, this is the best prasadam I've ever had. In other words, what you're eating at the moment is the best you're ever going to get. What your thought, your realization of Krishna, this one is the best one. Even if you have the same one every other day, it's the best one. Right? Whenever you can awaken to the fact that Krishna's pulling all the strings, and He's withholding what you feel you need, you don't need anything. You need to recognize Krishna as there. And you need to accept with full satisfaction, intensely, that His love and your reciprocal love is the only aspect of a missing in your existence, your eternal existence. The only aspect that's missing from your being and your being with others is letting go of the us or I and them, or my concept of friend and enemy. You can find the same principle in the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj. He rejected the teachings of his mundane teachers because they were based on diplomacy, cheating. I and mine, them and us, right? He rejected them. Why? Because a pure devotee. So these pure devotees, even though he's 5 years old, maybe 4, maybe 6, depends on which grade he's in school. But, the point is that out of the mouth of babes and from the beautiful women, and what makes them beautiful is their simplicity and a capacity to dedicate every ounce of their strength to nurturing others for the ultimate benefit of Krishna consciousness. I'm not clowning around this time. Right? But there's someone in the community that clowns around all the time with the concept of upliftment of others. All the purpose is uplifting others. Right? I'm tired. I don't want to pick someone else. I can barely pick myself up. Huh? Okay. Well, I'm going off at my mouth here, and I should have to keep track of the time. I had a whole bunch of things to read. We'll go over to this one. Read it quickly. Because this is His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada's version of these verses. It's so pleasant. Let's see, did I mark it? I probably didn't mark it. I'm supposed to remember. It starts on 15. I remember that. There we go. Top of the page. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Devotees who simply think of you are always immune from all kinds of material dangers. This is a previous verse. And what to speak of ourselves, who are personally remembered by you. So, my dear Krishna, there is no question of bad luck. You see, Srila Prabhupada is so kind that he placed in colloquial terms and like American English words that are easy to discern and easy to apply to our existence. Brings it down to us so that we can practice it. Okay, here we go. We are always in an auspicious position because of your grace. This is Kunti speaking to Krishna. But because you have bestowed a special favor on us, people should not mistakenly think that you are partial to someone and inattentive to others. You make no such distinctions. No one is your favorite, and no one is your enemy. As the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you are equal to everyone, and everyone can take advantage of your special protection. The fact is that although you are equal to everyone, you are especially inclined to the devotees who always think of you. The devotees are related to you by what is it that the devotees are related with? I seem to be having a hard time here. The devotees are related to you by, what is this word? Ties of love. Ties of love. And as such, they cannot forget you even for a moment. You are present in everyone's heart. But because the devotees always remember you, you also respond accordingly. Although the mother has affection for all children, she takes special care of the one who is fully dependent. I know, certainly, my dear Krishna, that being seated in everyone's heart, you always create auspicious situations for you, for your unalloyed devotees. So, of course, how can it be that this is in quotation marks in this book, when, in fact, it doesn't appear this way in the Bhagavatam? Because the pure devotee has a channel of realization and can put words in Krishna's mouth. But in fact, this is what Kunti said, in essence, in the long form, that there are no restrictions, there is no favoritism, and that, in fact, what's being said to Krishna, the qualities that are applied to Krishna, are included in the qualities of a devotee. We're meant to strive for Krishna's very simple and pure example. It's not that God is so far away that we cannot follow his example. The fact is that he sets an example to be followed. You can look in chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita, text 26 and 29, it tells how to preach. It means that don't condemn people, encourage them. Don't think we and I, just include them and encourage them to perform their mundane affairs in the mood of devotion. That's preaching. Don't stop what you're doing. You don't have to become a monk. No. Yeah. Someone gave you a Bhagavad Gita, next thing you know, you're in the temple. Why? Because the books preach. Once you get a taste, it's like the meal, all right? Prabhupada actually gave instructions how to distribute prasadam, very small amounts to start with. Remember when people used to sit down in lines, the brahmacharis or anyone who was given the privilege of serving would come and say the name of the preparation and give a little bit. And people, that's fantastic. They wait for the person to come back. They're really eager to get more and more and more and more. What they're doing is drawing Krishna closer to them through the tongue, right? And when they hear something like this, it seems very poetic and beautiful, right? And it's charming. And this whole chapter, right? It's all about romance, right? It's all about economic development. It's all about everything that everybody wants in the material world. Krishna's going through the ringer. He attract this woman, and goes and gets a dowry, right? And then he has his treasury goes up. It's not on the mundane platform at all. But it attracts people with the mundane perspective. Prabhupada actually said that in the beginning of this book, the first volume, he says, read it like a novel. But the subject matter is transcendental. Krishna is the subject, right? That's why his name is on the cover. Yeah. If you read it just for entertainment purposes, still you're purified. In the 6th canto, when the Yamadutas are having a debate with the Vishnudutas, then the Vishnuduta says, even musically, even jokingly, or for musical entertainment, still, by chanting the Maha Mantra, then one becomes purified. Yeah? One becomes purified. I in Berkeley, years ago, they used to sell these license plate frame, and it said, chant Hare Krishna on it. And I bought one, put it on my car, and we were driving to the temple, my family, myself, and a car load of college students passed us, chanting Hare Krishna because of that sign. They were making fun of us, but they become purified, right? Because they chanted Hare Krishna, right? So even jokingly, for musical, unknowingly, the soul is remembering simply by the vibration, like the Christmas parade. So much other music. I was thinking we should just tag into that music and chant Hare Krishna, because people hear that music. We should just sing the Maha Mantra so that they remember the mantra, because it's jarring. It doesn't blend, right? Just the words. A lot of festivals, they're centered around the chanting of the holy name, but it's actually centered around the leader, and it's centered around the music and the expert, and you can't even follow it sometimes. You can't follow it. The purpose of a leader isn't just to be out in front of everybody. The purpose of a leader is to set an example by which, this is chapter 3, text 21, a practical example that people can follow. People want a leader. They want someone they can follow. So Krishna is the ultimate leader. And if you're looking for a female role model, Kunti is the leader. And how is she doing it? Glorifying Krishna in the most simple terms, right? So attractive concept, including everyone. No one is excluded. And this is the point. There's no us and them, right? This is one of the numerous points that are available. Okay, so there's a few seconds remaining. If you'd like to air a criticism or correction, a comment or question, I'll give you my text number. You can text me, 336-327-1998, or email me. You can email me. This is a good one. misterdas@gmail. Right? Mr. Das at Gmail. So if you have any criticism or correction or comment, I'll be glad to address it in writing. I will respond. Otherwise, you can talk with me afterwards, one-on-one. Thank you very much for your attention. You have a comment? Okay, thanks. We have to wait for the conch shell to blow. Is that the idea? Okay. If you want homework, please read chapter 9, text 29. Yeah, 29? Yeah, chapter 9, text 29. That was in the purport. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. Oops. Turn this way.
Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Agom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalen Kriya Vriti Manti Vasyanti Panti Kayanti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami 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 Govindam. Shimavamana Shrimadhusudana Rajendra Nandana Shama Putana Gatana Kaitaba Shatana Jaya Dasarati Rama Shatana Kaitaba Shatana Rama Jasoda Dulala Govinda Gopala Vrindavana Purandara Soda Dulala Govinda Gopala Vrindavana Purandara Gopi Priya Jana Radhika Ramana Bhuvana Sundara Bara Ravana Takara Makana Taskara Gopi Jana Vastrari Gopi Jana Brajera Rakala Gopa Vrindapala Shita Hari Bamsidari Yakala Gopa Vrindapala Shita Hari Bamsidari Yogendra Bandana Srinandanandana Braja Jana Bayahari Navina Nirada Rupa Manohara Mohana Bamsi Bihari Nirada Rupa Manohara Mohana Bamsi Bihari Yashoda Nandana Kamsani Sudana Nikunjara Savilasi Dana Kamsani Sudana Nikunjara Savilasi Kadamba Kanana Rasa Parayana Brinda Vipina Nivasi Ananda Vardana Premani Ketana Purashara Jojaka Kama Premani Ketana Purashara Jojaka Kama Gopangana Gana Chita Vinodana Samasta Sunagana Dhamma Jita Vinodana Samagana Dhamma Jamuna Jivana Keli Parayana Manasa Chandra Chakora Namasudara Goa Krishna Jasha Raka Vachana Manamora Namasudara Goa Krishna Jasha Raka Vachana Manamora Vibhabari Sheshalo provision. Nidachari utajiva. Aishesha loka provision. Nidachari utajiva. Bolo Hari Hari Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hayagriva. Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hayagriva. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Nitai Gaura Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Sachinandana Nandana Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Sachinandana Gaurari Sachinandana Jaya Radha Goloka Nanda Radha Goloka Nanda Shri Radhe Radha Goloka Nanda Radha Goloka Nanda Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Goloka Nanda Radha Goloka Nanda Shri Radhe Radha Goloka Nanda Radha Goloka Nanda Shri Radhe Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada The night has come to an end, and the light of dawn is entering. O Jiva soul, arise and give up your sleep. Chant the holy names of Lord Hari, giver of liberation, enemy of demon Mura, supreme enjoyer, all attractive, and Hari Griva, the horse-headed incarnation, Nishinga, half man.
Even Madhu, beloved son of Raja's ruler,
beautifully complexioned slayer of witch, destroyer of the demon Kataba, and the son of Dasarath, Lord Ram, darling of Yashoda, giver of pleasure to cows, land, and spiritual senses, protector, Lord of Vrindavan, the gopis' beloved lover of Radhika, and most beautiful of all the worlds, cause of the demon Ravana's demise as Lord Ram, butter thief, robber of the gopis' girls' clothes, and herdsman of Braj, protector of the other cowherd boys, thief of hearts and flute player, Nanda's joy, remover of all fears for the people of Braja, colored like a fresh rain cloud, enchanting in form and charming while wandering and playing a flute. Yashoda's joy, vanquisher of the demon king Kamsa, enjoyer of the rasa dance groves, and especially under the Kadamba trees, and resident of the woods of Vrindavan. Grace and ecstasy of his devotees, reservoir of all love, the transcendental Cupid uses flowered arrows to increase the loving desires of the gopis, the pleasure of the heart, all the cowherd women and men, and the life of a river, always absorbed in amorous pastimes, and the moon of which is heed my words, O mind, these holy names full of Agarian mouths. Therefore, sing the glories of Hare Krishna, Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Chaito Darpana Marjanam, Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam, Shreya Kairavya Chandrika Vitaranam, Vidya Vadu Jivanam, Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam, Pratipanam Purnamrita Swadanam, Sarvatma Snapanam, Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam, Nam Namakari Rauda Nija Sarva Shaktis, Tatra Pitani Amita Anena Kala. Thank you. Yashi Mapi Durdaiva Midrishami Hajani Naniraga Trinada Pisuni Chena Tarora Pisahishuna Amani Namana Dana Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Vajagadisha Kamae Mama Janmani Janmani Ishvare Bhavatad Bhaktir Hoitaki Twai Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavampura Kripayata Vapada Pankaja Stita Duli Sadrashim Vachintaya Nayanam Gladashu Daraya Varanam Gadgadurudaya Gira Pulakarnishitam Vapukada Tava Namagrahane Bhavishyati Yugayatam Namishena Chakshusha Pravashayatam Shunayatam Jagat Sarvam Govindam Virahename Aslishyava Padamratam Panastumam Adarshanam Marmahata Karotuva Yatatava Vidadatulam Pato Mat Prananatastusa Eva Napara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the